Hello, welcome to Hang Out. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jonas.
And this is Jerry, and today we're going to be talking about Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah,
That is correct.
that's the name of the film.
That is the name of the film.
It's a classic war movie. I'd say classic now. I feel like it's earned that
It's
reputation.
It's pretty
old.
I don't know. It's definitely a title that probably everyone has heard of. At least.
I think it's one of the first big films, anyway, that touched on more recent wars.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we watched it the other day. We're just gonna get right into it. I think this is a film that if you're into war movies at all, or you like that genre, or you don't mind that genre, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
So yeah, we usually start by saying whether or not you should watch it. So we are going to talk about spoilers.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would say TLDR, go away, watch the film, then come back. I think it's worth watching. It's for me. Anyway.
TLDR.
Yeah, I did find out what that stood for. It's not what I expected. Too long didn't read.
Too long didn't read. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it is long story short.
Yeah. I mean, I always kind of wanted it to mean like the lowdown,
Mm-hmm.
because this is like the lowdown.
Okay.
Get it? But then I was always like, R. So like the lowdowner. But no,
Lowdowner.
Too long didn't read is what it actually stands for. So if the video's too long, good film.
Good film.
Go watch it.
Go watch it. Spoilers now. Yeah, I don't know. It's
This was your first time seeing it.
It was my first time seeing it.
Fair. I've seen it a few times.
Yeah, it's got very good action in it, but I think surprisingly, other than that, not a whole lot to it. Like I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
But like it is first and foremost an action film.
Yeah, I would say the action's good, not the fights. If that makes
Mm-hmm.
any real sense. So I think what I mean by
Yes.
that is compared to other films we've spoken about. So my guilty pleasure war movie is definitely 13 Hours.
Mm-hmm.
Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. I think it's a good
Secret
film.
Soldiers.
It's a really good film. Or even if you look at something like Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers, which we watched all 10 hours of, and you can watch along with us.
Yes.
Down. Click the button somewhere.
Probably somewhere on this side.
We're not going to put it up on the screen, but it's on our channel. You can find it. It's 10 hours long. You'll notice. But I think like it's much more set out, like the fights between two different sides in those films. And you kind of get a better idea. Whereas I think this film is intentionally confusing, and so the overwhelmingness of a battle.
You'd hope it is
I
intentional
really hope it's
because
intentional.
it is incredibly confusing.
But
You
I
just
think,
see
like-
people shooting at something, but you never see like the exact.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hardly ever you see the
What they're
exact
shooting
effects
at.
of what a shot is doing, or like.
But I think
what
in terms
exactly
of
is being shot at.
Giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
The confusion of battle.
Yes.
I think is very well portrayed,
Yes.
and because of that, you don't get a good sense of like, oh, okay, the enemy are coming from here. We're gonna have a shootout. It's
Yeah.
just we are here shooting
Yes.
and getting shot at from somewhere.
I
And I think
guess
that is very immersive,
Mm.
but I don't have a clue where they're shooting at.
Yeah. No, I guess that is. I mean, that could be and is probably a huge point of them being trapped in a situation and literally the danger being all around them.
Mm.
So like it doesn't, for the viewer also, it doesn't quite matter where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And maybe that helps you have the same feeling as the characters that you are following to be like, it's coming from
Everywhere,
I don't know, everywhere.
There are
yeah.
definitely parts where like, oh, like when the second helicopter goes down, you're like, oh, we need to get there. Oh, we can, but these two guys will drop in, and I'm kind of like, presumably it's far.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I think it's funny because like it's surely 2/3 or maybe even 3/4 in.
It's a good
Where they have like one shot of like the generals or whatever in camp being like, okay, this is the map, this is the crash site of the helicopter, this is where the guys are being holed up, and this is where they're trying, like the other group of guys is trying to like move towards where the other guys are held up, and you're like, okay, this is. Because they do talk about like a couple of blocks, but a couple of blocks is.
It's also, I mean, I guess
What
a
is
block is not a term that's used
Mm,
in the UK. I'm not even sure if it's used outside of America.
maybe.
It's not really how our cities are made.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess not unless they're like recently made or like
Very
yeah.
recent. Oh, you still wouldn't refer to it as a block. But in terms of obviously you're looking at, so this is like Somalia
yeah.
in the Bakara market, and you're like,
They surely
this is not in blocks.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, oh, it's 2 blocks down. I'm like, I'm presuming you mean 2 buildings, but I really have no idea.
Well, usually a block is
Like
the next intersection.
Yeah.
So like it could be several buildings until the next street starts, but like
I definitely got no sense of that. But that's, I mean, I don't think it's essential.
Even that's not a distance. You know, a block could be a kilometer long.
Yeah, and for a military,
Yeah.
oh, he's this far away. That's not how I think.
I love when they say clicks, because clicks is definitely something that means something.
It's 100 meters.
Okay, but I was like, I always feel like it's so funny when it's like, oh yeah,
it's a kilometer. Sorry,
we gotta move you a click, and you're like,
no, 1 click is 1 kilometer. So it's one. So on a proper map, it's in squares, and the squares are a kilometer squared. Or cubed. No, squared. Cubed.
Yeah.
Kilometer squared.
That'd be dope though.
So a click is a
3D
kilometer.
Maps.
Which is why sometimes when you hear like, oh, they're 4 clicks out and they start running, I'm like,
Yeah.
like, have a nice jog.
Maybe if it's like, yeah, right about now, the snipers will definitely start shooting at us.
Yeah. Oh man. No, I think the cast's really good. It's amazing how many like pre-fame actors they've got in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or just famous. Like Orlando Bloom had just had his big break. I mean, Tom Hardy's in it. He's
in it as well.
I
don't know, but it didn't feel like, wow, what a stellar cast. Like, I don't think...
but I don't think you are going to get that with, like, pre-fame actors. Like, it'd be incredible if you picked out more than 5 or 6 pre-fame.
That's true. So it's not like, oh, wow, they just got all of the actors that ended up being
very successful. I think that'd be insane.
I don't think...
But you had, Eric Bana from Troy, which came out a couple of years prior. And he was, apart from Brad Pitt, the main character. Mm-hmm. He's on the cover.
I guess that's also what where they got Orlando Bloom from as well.
Yeah, possibly. Or Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I mean, Ewan McGregor, that was probably the peak of his fame. I guess you could argue he peaked at Star Wars.
What's that guy who was like one of the sergeants or whatever who had to step up?
I didn't recognize him.
I think I only recognize him as like, oh, isn't that the main character from Battleship? And I was like, definitely. I was like, that's someone who's like not pre-fame because it's definitely not fame afterwards.
But no, you've got Lucius Malfoy from Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's hilarious. He's so different.
I did not recognize him at all.
Like visually, yes. Yeah. But he speaks.
You've got the sergeant from Saving Private Ryan.
That's just typecast by that point.
Yeah, I think he is. He's a bit more badass. And then my favorite is, I don't know who he is. I recognize he's in a lot of TV, but I only know him as the banker at the start of Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, you idea you're stealing from? You and your friends are dead. He's in tons of TV stuff, and every time I see him, I go, "Oh, it's the Dark Knight banker man." Yeah, he's in the film for all of a minute,
and then he gets a smoke grenade in his mouth.
Yeah, but like. Oh, but he's in it.
Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's also pretty badass.
He's good in this film. Like, he did a good job.
Yeah.
But no, so there's a lot of people recognize. I mean, Nikolai Coster-Waldau and Nicolaj, I guess. Jamie Lannister.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. That's what I mean. There's a lot of faces that you go, oh, I know who they are. Like, you see Tom Hardy, who's like in the background. You're like, oh, you are going to become very successful in the future.
Yeah. I think what's weird, though, is... And I guess that is the whole point of also military, making everyone uniform. Most of them are so difficult to distinguish. If they're not like proper characters.
So kind of jumping onto historical accuracy. So one of the only things that this film gets wrong, and they did it on purpose, is having them have their names on their helmet. And I think they're hard enough to... Like, I still struggle.
I can't read. Most of the time you won't be able to read
you won't be able to read, you won't be able to tell. But like, at least they tried. But some people criticized it for that. I'm like, nah, mate, like, you need it. I mean, it's sitting there like, oh, Blackburn went down. I'm sitting there on the IMDb like, Blackburn. Orlando Bloom. Yeah. He's dead. Cool.
Yeah. He just fell out of the helicopter.
No,
wasn't that him?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah, okay. I was like,
it was him. But I definitely had to be like, Blackburn is dead. Ah, yes.
Yeah.
We won't be seeing any more of him.
Damn.
But I think there's enough pre-fame actors are then actors who are no longer famous, like Eric Bana, who were at the height of their fame back then. That it's kind of I think they all act well anyway.
No,
Not
that's
really
for sure.
But
it is kind of like, I mean, that also helps in the whole confusion thing. Is like you have to get very far into the film until you actually know who's who. And I guess part of the issue is that you don't ever spend... There's a lot of characters. There's just a lot of characters. And you don't really spend time with any of them.
Yeah, if you ask me who the main character was, I'd really struggle.
Yeah.
To be like, it's him. I think it's definitely like an event film. So it's about this event that happened. And for it. Which I think is also nice. It means no one's safe. Like, you've got Orlando Bloom, who is a huge star, and even was then a huge star. And you kill him in the first minutes of battle. I don't know, first 20, 30 minutes in the film. Yeah. So I think, like, props them for that, because that's brave, and it's kind of like, oh, that character who's the new rookie, you know, maybe that's who we're going to follow for. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it allows them to attack it from lots of different angles, which is nice. You get Delta Squad, who are there. They're a bit more professional, and, you know, they can really get the job done, but if you're following them the whole time, there wouldn't have been this disaster. Would have felt more controlled. So we get, like, the Rangers, who are kind of struggling a bit more, and then Grimes, so Hugh McGregor's character, who's way out of his depth.
Yeah,
but he's positive. Like, even once he gets shot, he remains positive, and it's like, that's actually what you need. Whereas the sergeant that stepped
some
up,
coffee. I think that's a brilliant scene where you're just like, I do wonder where he gets the
all on the ground.
I was like, where did he get that bean grinder from?
Yeah, it's like night vision goggles. No, bean grinder.
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
That's a bit insane. Yeah,
but I think, I don't know. Like, in terms of. So it's something we definitely spoke about after, because it's something that I feel like a lot of more recent war films fall into. It's the pro-America.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that should be addressed. I think this film's all right at that.
Yeah.
Because A, it's not really America. It's the UN. It just happens to be the American military. Which is historically accurate. So this is a real event.
Yeah.
Like, this happened pretty much bang on.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty accurate.
Mogadishu.
I'm not even gonna attempt that, but yeah, sure.
No, but that's the place.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's the city.
I only know Car Market because I played too much Call of Duty as a child.
Oh, really? Did they just take the map?
Yeah. I'm sure it's in the store somewhere. I don't remember. Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1, 3.
Yeah, no, but it's like a extraction situation. They want to get this warlord. And so they got the intel where he's gonna be, and they're
not actually for the warlord though. It's just for some of his higher ups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they definitely just want to go in, grab these people, go out. Within an hour, it should all be over.
Yeah. They failed.
Yeah, but it fails big time because.
Well, Black Hawk goes down.
Yeah.
Stuff just starts to kind of fall apart, and then they get trapped.
Yeah.
Then when they go back,
it's funny though because it's not like they get it's not like they should be surprised by what happens. Like, it's an RPG.
Yeah, I think what surprised them was kind of like this hot pot of people wanting to fight someone, and as soon as there's that kind of like excuse, the whole city.
Yeah.
Kind of went for it, and then you've got this large-ish extraction team, but that's large for an extraction, not like going to war with an entire town. So even once one helicopter goes down, I think they would have been fine.
Yeah.
But because the rescue attempt to that, they got stuck, and then it's like, okay, people are getting out, but they are getting shot up, and it's like.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely, like, as soon as the force is split, then they can run into the issues. No, but it's interesting that it wasn't like while the helicopters were coming in or like while they were dropping people off, they got shot at. It was only, well, I guess it's because Orlando Bloom's character fell out of the helicopter. That's why that Black Hawk stuck around for a bit longer.
No, because he fell out because he was dodging an RPG shot.
Yeah, but then he got a second.
Yeah. I mean, they're incredibly hard to aim, presumably, so I don't think you'd hit a moving helicopter easily.
Yeah. No, but I mean, that's just the historic event. No, but certainly it hasn't this pro-American feel to it.
It has
until
or hasn't.
I don't think
the very end.
Until the very end, and I'm like, it's a bit of a shame, because I think I guess very specifically, what I would be talking about in this case, and it is the same case in many other films, is like the whole this is why we do it thing. And that's exactly what's in the movie, is like, yeah, and if anyone asks you, I don't even bother explaining because they will never understand why we do what we do.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, right now you're just trying to justify why
so
people go to the army and go to war, because somehow there's a positive side to it, which is like, I guess, the community.
And I think the thing is, like, I don't care how people really feel. Like, if you're in the army, that's how you feel, fine. But I think that's the danger is you run into. But this is how the military feel. But if you're portraying that to like a normal cinema going audience, you've got an issue. Whereas they could have had, so this is Eric Bana's character, Delta leader, and after they're all home safe, he's going back out to help solve the issue, really. And the sergeant, who's finally found his kind of, not his courage, obviously you have to be incredibly brave to do that anyway, but he's found out how to lead. And he goes to go with him, and he's like, don't even think about it. But I think he could have just said, look, I'm in a nice, well-written way, but I'm incredibly well-trained, and I enjoy saving people, and that's what I'm going out to do. You know, like, leave it to me. Because he's proven for the film, like, there's that bit where he sneaks up on the heavily mounted, the MG. And they all, like, you know, strangle them with wires, and you're like, we've not. It's
like somehow some tiny artillery stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not even an MG.
Whatever it is.
But like, that I think shows very clear that they are far superior to like the normal trained military.
Oh yeah, he's been there longer, it seems, as well.
Yeah, so I think that it would have been totally fine to have him just be like, look,
this is my job.
This is my job. This is what I do. I enjoy this to an extent. Not only I enjoy killing, but like I enjoy saving people. This is what I'm incredibly skilled at, and not just here. Because it seems like he's not just there for his like camaraderie.
Yeah,
that would make more sense for the normal military. You know, you're saving your brothers. He's just like kicking ass as far as movies go.
Yeah.
And he'd be the closest you get to like an action hero in the film. So I think it's interesting that they chose him for that kind of angle of like, no, this is why I fight, because of the person standing next to me. Like, it just feels a little bit like ham-fisted, like they had to justify it further. Other than I think like, obviously I'd really want to look into history before I like put my name to the claim. But I'm pretty happy that the UN were there. Like it didn't seem like we're gonna democratize your country. It's these people are starving their entire nation for military power. So it makes sense that someone else was there to try and
definitely make
help
sense for I don't know, but it is, I think it's just a very classic trope. I mean, it isn't Band of Brothers, because that's literally what
that's about.
That's what the whole thing is about. But just like to, I don't think the film needed it at all.
Band of Brothers, though, I think gets away with it because of at the very end, not even, it's the Germans. That it explains it's not America. It's this is an experience, I mean, hopefully never to be experienced again. You know, but a once in a generation lifetime chance for these people, and they've all come together from such different backgrounds to help one another, at least, you know, like you're helping the person next to you. So even if like the Germans were helping their fellow man survive. You know, from a boots on the ground perspective.
It's in that case, it's way more bridging the gap between the nations and the people, as in like, war is hell for everyone, but it is a shared experience in that sense. And there's some good that comes with it, but I think in films like that.
Whereas if you look at like, I don't even want to name names, but pretty much every war film set recently where they're against a country of non-Americans, shall we say?
Say terrorists.
Terrorists. Yeah, even if they're in their own country. Would be there's no humanizing of the opposing side almost ever. And I think that's the problem, because then if you only got the American perspective, you've got an issue.
Oh, I mean, especially in Black Hawk Down, you spend no time with...
even when they capture them, it's like, we keep you alive because prisoners for prisoners. That's it. That's all you get. But I think because
you get that one scene when the pilot gets captured.
Yeah, but I think I'm okay with it because it's not America. This is like a world peace problem. I don't think it's perfect. If you remove that line at the end, I think it'd be much better.
I struggle with that though because it is not quite there because I mean they do get the reinforcements from the Pakistani UN forces.
Yeah.
But they, like the US forces, don't actually feel like they're UN forces.
No.
You know, there's a clear difference between their Humvees and helicopters and the ones that clearly say UN on the side, you know? That's why I'm like...
But again, they just don't because the UN's
not quite there.
Global.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's an interesting one. I think it is one of the only films, that and Shooting Dogs were the only two I've seen. So Shooting Dogs deals with the...
I don't know that.
Oh, we're talking about, is it Malawian?
Mm-hmm.
Genocide?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, I'm gonna Google that because I don't wanna be wrong.
Malawian
Shooting dogs. Rwandan. There's a W in there. That's why I got it wrong.
Wow.
Genuinely, I think in letters.
That's true. No.
Yeah, so like if it's close.
Honestly, I think in letters as well, but I usually get it wrong if I'm like, yeah, it's that letter, and then it's absolutely not that letter.
So I get way off, but like I get eczema if I take in too much lactose.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, that's how I react. I'm technically lactose intolerant.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. Like just my skin goes a bit red, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to be way more sensitive as a kid to it. Like I was no lactose at all for years.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I like drank some milk accidentally in school, like primary school. So I must have been like 7, maybe 6, 7, and I freaked out because like I had avoided this for years and years and years, and I was like, oh shit. And I remember she was like, well, what is it? What is it? And I couldn't think of the word eczema, but it sounds like asthma. So I just said asthma, and then of course I'm freaking out. The teachers are freaking out. They phone mum, and she's like, he gets a rash. And I'm like, it sounds like asthma though. It's not the thing, you know.
And you didn't say it sounds like asthma, but it's not asthma?
I think I did, but obviously the teachers looked at the 6-year-old and was like...
Yeah, a 6-year-old has an asthma attack.
Freaking out. But my mum always likes to bring that up at parties and be like, oh, this is an embarrassing story.
Josh.
I maintain, like, the way I
Classic
think
Josh.
is, like, so Rwanda and Malawi, I'm like, they're similar.
There's, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but tell us about Shooting Dogs.
Shooting Dogs, yes. So it's one of the only films I've seen anyway that deals with the UN's restrictions of can't be shot until shot at.
Uh-huh.
Which means if you never engage the people with guns, you're fine, even if you're killing innocents. And they touch on it briefly, and I think there's 2 instances in Black Hawk Down where they're like, so when they're flying over and they see them go down, and then later on when they're on the street, and he's like, no, if the whistles they're shooting near, the ping is them shooting at you. And they're the only times when it's really mentioned, but I think it's interesting to get touched upon because I mean Shooting Dogs is a film about genocide. You know, it's by no means an action film at all. It's filmed in the exact same school that the genocide happened, like on location with they use extras and actors that survived the actual event as well. It's incredible. It's a really amazing movie. Strong recommend if you can find it.
I don't know if I would do that.
I don't know. It's an incredible film.
Yeah. No, wow, that's a whole ethical, like...
Yeah.
Damn.
But I think as well, in terms of awareness, like, everyone knows about the Holocaust. You know, so you don't need that kind of... Like, I find it'd be insensitive to be like, oh, yeah, we've closed down the Auschwitz Museum to film there for 2 months. You'd be like,
yeah,
okay. You know, like, that seems unnecessary, but in terms of a genocide that not many people even knew happened, like, heck, there's me getting the name of the country wrong, and I've seen the film, to kind of bring as much awareness as possible, I understand, and to be as authentic as possible. Like, I think it's not to the film's detriment. I think they handle it really well. But for a film that is an action movie, probably, I would put Black Hawk Down as an action film. To actually have that kind of hint of like, maybe we should think about this issue is nice. And then a normal viewer can switch off and enjoy people shooting at things and the camaraderie between the dudes. But anyone that wants to engage their brain a little bit can.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
But a little bit. It's better than a lot of films.
Yeah.
which is just about that camaraderie.
I guess it is, especially for how much older it is than a lot of war films now. It's like, I guess that's a stepping stone of like moving away from just like action hero shooting and like having more realism, but also more differentiated and critical realism in that. So it's not patriotic all the way, and you do have a bit more of a reflective view on what's going on. I think definitely. Especially during that time. I mean, that must have been, when was that made? 2005?
2005, I believe, yeah.
That's not long after 9/11.
2001.
Oh, then...
Wait, was it before? Surely
no way. Then it must have been
before. 18th of January 2002 in the UK.
Oh no. Wow, that must have hit like a bombshell. No pun intended, by the way. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, there's an extended cut just came out.
That's crazy.
I wonder what the US release date was, though. Hang on.
No, because I mean, it does... I guess it makes more sense that you wouldn't be like whole anti-war in your message, because that's not...
Because the war hasn't started yet.
What the sentiment in that sense is.
Yeah, 28th of December 2001.
Okay. That's interesting, because like I guess you always have to still view the film in its context.
Of course.
If this would have been made a year later, I think it would.
I think it would have struggled. Well, I don't know though. I think it would have done better.
I think they would have made it very differently though.
Yeah, I think especially then.
Mhm.
I mean, I was only... Well, I didn't have any political opinions when I was 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Shocking as that may be.
Crazy.
But I think the sentiment seems to be very pro-war for a chunk of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's taken a bit of time to get to an anti-war message, which is why I do think there are things there that are quite forward-thinking. I mean, you did still have war. Like, there was the 90s war in Iran. That's what Green Zone's about.
Yeah.
Which was obviously, I mean, there'd be tons of anti-war stuff, but I think you could get away with being much more pro-war after 9/11, for sure.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice that still did survive in a post 9/11. I mean, just.
Yeah, I guess it was made before.
Yeah.
Crazy, yeah. To think how that would change.
But you'd only need to take out 3 scenes to change like the whole. You could make it a straight action film if you really wanted to, and be like, look at these American heroes, and add a couple lines of dialogue, maybe a voiceover to be like, yeah, this is America.
Yeah. And
I think you've got it. You know, you don't even need to acknowledge the UN if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Have that. All right, we're waiting for the Pakistanis to save us.
Yeah,
you know, you don't need to acknowledge that at all if you really don't want to. You'd still be historically accurate if you just forget to mention something.
Yeah, if you don't explicitly say it.
So I think props to them for not changing. I think Ridley Scott's pretty good for that, to be honest.
No, I think I would also trust artists to do that. Because usually they are a bit...
Yeah, I did not realize when that came out.
On the other side of things.
That's also, like, I mean...
Yeah, shit.
Whew. You've got, I mean, Hurt Locker, I think, is my favorite war film. Modern era war film, for sure. Which has its own kind of message on that. There's not much I can think else that's kind of in the same...
No, but you definitely see a lot more films nowadays talking about issues of warfare. So, like...
Yeah. But for
mental health.
But for me, Jarhead has fallen into the trap of being...
Just
not
that.
Yes, it's only about the mental toll of war, which doesn't make for a particularly classically entertaining movie.
Yeah, but even, I mean, American Sniper still deals with that.
But American Sniper got flacked for being over patriotic. Yeah. I don't think it's too subtle. Like the people that see American Sniper and they're like, oh, but there's still an American hero. I'm like, he got shot by an American. Like, there is so many issues there that need to be addressed.
No,
and
I mean,
people just didn't.
It's definitely taken from the book, which this guy wrote himself. So it's like, I don't think that Yeah, that's a whole nother.
No,
maybe
I mean,
we'll
yeah,
do
yeah,
it
yeah.
one.
We can
on that.
watch all the modern war films.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, like, so Jarhead runs into the risk of there's nothing happen. I mean, the whole point of that film is nothing happens. That's fine. It just doesn't make for a very. I mean, you've not seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I have, and every now and then I'm like, shall we watch it? Because it's on Netflix, Prime. It's on something. We've got it available to us, and I'm always like, oh, we could. I don't know. I don't want to sit through hours of people sitting in the desert again. To be quite honest, like, you know, I think it's good for one watch. But if you've not seen it, go away and watch it. It's a great film. But if you've already seen it, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. It's not like a let's sit down and watch Jarhead again. And I think for me, Black Hawk Down's too far in the opposite direction. The perfect middle ground is Hurt Locker for me, where you get the damaged person, but every now and then he strips off his armor and goes shooting people for the sanity of the audience.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is, I don't know.
I think that also just makes it more powerful because then you can see the damaged person when that person is actually away from war.
Yeah. Because
they've been so trained in functioning during war.
Yeah.
That they, I don't know how exactly I would put it, but it's like they're so trained to function during war that when they're away from it, they don't really function
at all.
Oh, it's I think that's quite interesting. But yeah.
So for me, it's on the other end of the spectrum of Jarhead, and it's better than just like Lone Survivor, where it's just mindless patriotism. But it's Black Hawk Down it's a solid action film, especially considering how old it is. It's the first film I think that really touched on a lot of those issues, which is nice.
Touched on.
Yeah, it didn't flesh them out. But well acted. The music's does the job.
Yeah.
I think it's shot well enough. It's a bit confusing, but I think it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Hope so.
No, but altogether, I would also say like if you're struggling to find something to watch, then definitely watch that. Oh yeah, I would. Yeah.
Like if people are like, it's one of those films that because it is known, like people do talk about it still, you know. And if people have heard about it and are hesitant because it's old or they don't really like war films or whatever, like it's a good film.
Yeah.
I think it deserves the recognition it got. You know, it's like when people say, "Oh, have you seen Saving Private Ryan? You know, is it actually worth seeing?" I'm like, yes.
Yes.
You know, watch it. Go away, watch it. So Black Hawk Down, I think, go for it. It's not quite as good as Saving Private Ryan. I think personally, I think as a whole film, it's better. I really dislike the end of Saving Private Ryan, but that's a topic for another discussion. I never watched the last half hour of that film. I watched it once. I've never touched it again. I hate it.
Yeah, I know. You've told me.
It really irritates me. But I think as a whole package, it's very watchable. It's not too long.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't overstay its welcome.
No.
It's well paced. Good film.
Good film.
Good film. Well, maybe we should start a rating scheme.
Now you go watch it. Maybe.
No, go watch it. If there's something we missed, if there's some deep themes that it talks about, or we're just blind idiots that can't see the obvious choreography of the action scenes, let us know down below.
And if you're also a big fan of the miniguns just going...
Yeah, you loved that. You're like, oh, that's such a nice sound.
That was insane. No, because it's so significantly different to anything you hear before. And you get, like, the heavy MGs on the pickup trucks. But, like, those miniguns are just that much faster. Like, their fire rate is insane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man.
Yeah, it's just a cool sound.
It's a cool sound. Cool sound. Lots of bullets every second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if there's any other films actually that we haven't seen, because there's a few. Yes. You added a couple war films to our watch list that I promptly removed.
Yeah.
There was two. I can't remember what one of them was called. One of them was 12 Strong, which is Chris Hemsworth riding a horse in Afghanistan.
Yes. I don't know. It's just Netflix, and
it got reviewed terribly, so I moved it. And there was another one that
was even worse.
Rogue Squadron or something.
Yeah, Rogue Warfare. I think.
Rogue Warfare. Yeah. That's it.
It was just like 3 point something out of 10. You're like, how about no?
I think it was even lower though. I think it was 2 point something out of 10 on IMDb, and every single review was slating it. And I was like, it's not even good action. Let's just not.
Yeah.
But if there is good war films that we haven't seen or touched on, let us know. We've seen Zero Dark 30. You've seen Zero Dark 30?
No.
I've seen Zero Dark 30. We'll watch that then. Other than that, I think we've mentioned all the really good ones. So
Sandcastle.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, let us know if there's anything we've not seen that we should watch.
Yes, please.
I like Myself on Monday thing. 13 hours, I might talk about that. I really like that film.
I think you can just do that by yourself. Like,
What?
You'll have enough to talk
Do you
about
not,
without
you don't
me
even
chiming
like it,
in.
do you?
I don't know. I think it's okay.
I
Another time.
in the same thing. So you should go back and check our the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford review that we did a couple days ago.
Yes.
Although we're curiously wearing the same clothes, it's like we recorded these all in one day. That's so strange.
Mm.
And Jerry hasn't moved a muscle, which he usually does. He likes to dance. But I think I said in that if that's your type of film,
Yes.
it's the perfect of that type of movie.
Yeah, if that's your favorite genre, that would be
Yeah.
your absolute favorite film.
And I think for the type of action film that 13 Hours is,
Yeah.
it's the best I've seen of that genre.
Okay.
It's not my favorite genre, so it's not my favorite movie.
Uh-huh.
But in terms of that mindless action, it's done very well.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'll say about that.
Okay.
That's all I'll say for now. Whereas Black Hawk Down isn't the best in its
No.
genre. I'd say Hurt Locker is, unless it's something I missed. Then let me know. But you should go away and check out our other reviews and all the other films we recommend
All of them, yes.
every day.
And you should, yeah, as you said, always recommend stuff because
There's only so
we
many
can't.
things to watch.
Yeah. and we
Especially if
can't
it's
think
on
of everything.
Netflix or Prime or Disney Plus. They're the 3 streaming sites we have access to. That makes it easier for us. We used to have Now TV, which is like the Sky one in the UK, but we don't. It's really, really expensive, and there's only like 50 movies on it, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Heyo.
Anyways, we will love you and leave you. Goodbye!